Hi everyone, I'm Afruit, and in this video we're diving into Serum, one of the most flexible and powerful synths out there. I'll be walking you through the interface while building a bass sound from scratch. If you're new to Serum or you want to level up your sound design, you're in the right place. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because in the next tutorial I'll be exploring Serum 2, the brand new version with some serious upgrades. Also, I have a Patreon page where you can get exclusive presets for Serum and other synths, access to monthly music production streams. I'm really grateful to everyone who's already supporting me there, and everyone's welcome. I'll leave my Patreon link in the description. Alright, let's jump in. So let's start with the initialized patch. You can see that only Oscillator A is turned on. That sounds like this. Let's turn on the sub straight away because we are making a bass sound. There is a selection of like simple waveforms here. I will stick with the sine wave, and let's go an octave down. Now you can hear the sub layer going on, and let's turn on the direct out to make sure that the sub is routed directly to the output. If I click here, I can choose from various kinds of wavetables, and I want to find something rich. Let's try this one. Here I can see it as a wave, and if I click here I can see the whole wavetable, and I can scan through it using the wavetable position knob. Let's lower our sound by an octave. And if I take a look here at the envelope 1, this is the main envelope of our sound that affects all the oscillators, and here I can decide how my sound will be shaped in time. If it has longer attack, and then I give it a bit of a release. If I turn the sustain down, I can get the more snappy sound. Let's leave it like this. Getting back to the Oscillator A, I can add more voices to it, and I can detune them. And can it even be more voices? Blend, you can see when it's 3 voices and more, you can switch between like the central layer and the additional ones. And then here I can choose the algorithm, and it will change the sound into what if we go one more octave lower? Now let's turn on the filter. This is a low pass filter, and you can choose how aggressively do you want your frequencies to cut by choosing the slope. So this is the 18 slope, 24. Here under the filter you choose which oscillators are affected by it, and if I want the filter to affect the sub as well, I should turn off the direct out and turn it on here. Now if I want to modulate this filter to make it move by itself in a certain direction and speed, I will use the envelope 2. I can set some parameters, for example, a slow attack. I grab these arrows here and then I put it on the filter cutoff. And now it's moving with this speed of attack. Whoop, whoop. And here I can choose which side will it be going. and how far. Can add some resonance. Some drive to make it sound fatter. If I will change the shape of the envelope to, for example, lower the sustain to 0 and shorten the attack, we'll get this snappy sound. Now let's give this sound some more movement. I will use the LFO1 and I will assign it to the wavetable position. I don't want to move it so far, so I can change the LFO waveform and I can change the LFO rate. This is too slow. And I can play with how the LFO is being triggered. With this button on, it will go from the start each time I'm pressing the note. In the off position, it will just like keep moving. In the envelope mode, it will work as an envelope. So it will not loop itself. So let's get back to the trigger mode. With the delay, as you can see, it starts working with a delay. So it waits a little bit and then okay, I love this movement. Try different types of wavetable. Let's get back to the mirror. And that's how it now sounds if I go an octave lower on my keyboard. Angry enough, not bad. And we still haven't used the Oscillator B, so let's turn it on and let's choose some other type of wavetable to use. For example, some monster. That's how the monster looks. Oscillator B will give us more harmonic richness. We can also detune this wave slightly. And what if we go an octave lower with it? So that's how it sounds without the Oscillator B. And let's use another envelope to slightly move the wavetable position here as well. adjust the levels and mix my oscillator together. I can now pitch it back an octave up and see what harmonics it gives us. Maybe no unison is better. I can also use several modulations on one knob. For example, I already put the envelope 3 here, and I can also put another LFO. And you see it first gets affected by the envelope and then goes on this LFO loop. Now I can add some texture by turning on the noise oscillator. I want it to be affected by the filter as well. And I want it to be audible when the filter opens up. Let's choose some kind of noise, like maybe something simple. Can change the pitch of a noise. The level, I don't use too much of it. I just need a slight touch of dirt. Maybe something different, like a pink noise. Yeah, I will shorten the attack a little bit so our bass is more punchy. I'm still not completely happy with Oscillator B. Maybe let's try other wavetables. Other monsters. Wow. I like this. You can be creative in your modulation techniques. You can use LFOs and envelopes on pretty much everything you want. For example, I can take this LFO and I can put this, I don't know, on the detune level of the Oscillator A. By the way, if I turn the sustain up, we can hear longer movements. So maybe I'll just shorten the decay. There's also this velocity tracker and the pitch tracker here, which we can also use. For example, I want higher notes to have more noise on them. Then I'm gonna take this, assign it to the noise level, and depending on which note I press, you can see where it is tracked here. And yeah, let's go a bit lower because we're a bit too loud. If I press this note, I'm here. If I go upper, I'm upper here. So if I want a higher level of noise on the higher notes, then I will draw the form like this. Yeah, now you can see higher note gets more noise level than a lower note. And the velocity tracker will work the same way, but with velocity. And we have voicing settings here. You can change the amount of polyphony. So with poly set to 1, you can only play one note at a time. For example, you see I'm playing the note, I'm adding another one, but the first stops playing automatically because we only can play one note with the poly set to 1. When my cat is really eager to jump on my push and I'm synthesizing something, then I would go to poly 1 to make sure she's not killing my hearing playing a lot of bass notes at the same time. So yeah, with the bass I often set it to lower amount because I know we want to play more than 2 notes at the time, so I can just set this for 2. I can turn on portamento. So now, as you can hear, the pitch between notes is being changed smoothly. So let's now head to the effects tab, and here you can turn on and use any effects that you like to fine-tune your sound to make it sound richer. First thing that I would use on a bass is distortion. I can replace them here and like change the order, the chain of the effects as you like. When I'm adding distortion to the bass, I would either use tube or maybe the diode. Oh, this is fat. I'll maybe need just like a little bit. And here I can choose if I'll using a filter, pre or post distortion. We are really stereo here, so maybe I don't need this for bass. And also it's probably a bit too much noise. Let's go down here. Maybe less of a detune modulation. Let's just reset this and then go down. So yeah, let's get back to the effects. And let's use a pre-distortion filter to not distort the high frequencies. And what else I can use here? Maybe the flanger, just a tiny bit of it. Then I would use the compressor, and it has the multiband mode. It's a built-in OTT compressor in Serum that can give it a really heavy punch. But we need to adjust it, like let's add more lows and more highs. Wow, it becomes so much richer harmonically with the multi-band compressor. Yeah, if needed, I can use the EQ to scoop out muddiness or boost some sweet spots. For example, at 100 Hertz. Or 1K. Yeah, I think this works. 1 kilohertz boost gives it a bit more clarity. And you can also add a touch of chorus, of reverb for widths, but remember to keep it subtle on bass to not make your sound muddy. Cut in the lows from the reverb, and then I will use the shorter decay. Okay, and one more thing that I wanted to show you is macro controls. Serum 1 has 4 macro controls, and I can make my preset more expressive and easier to automate inside my DAW. So this is pretty simple. I just click here in front of the macro knob, and then I get back to my oscillator and I assign it where I want. For example, for the cutoff filter. And now I can control it with the knobs on my push or like any MIDI controller. And I can also assign it to several parameters at the same time. For example, the filter cutoff and the Oscillator A wavetable position. And I can still decide how much will it be affected. But yeah, let's remove it from here. Let's use this one just for cut off. And let's go the opposite direction here. And not till the very end. The second macro I can assign, for example, for the LFO2 rate. And actually, we can also put it to the LFO1. Again, let's go the opposite direction to have the slower LFO on when the knob is turned left and the faster LFO when it goes to the right. And I actually would love to use this LFO on a filter as well. Perfect. So that's the sound that I got. I think it's pretty cool. Maybe it's just a bit too much noise. So yeah, one last noise. The sound is basically ready, but we didn't check these two tabs yet. Let's see what they have. Here I can see all the modulations that I made. I can change the parameters of modulations here. Actually, you can also see where you've bypassed the modulation. So it's just like easier to, if you have lots of modulations going on, it's easier to check out what's going on if you go to the matrix tab. And in the global settings, there are some global parameters which you can check out and see what do you want to use. For example, if you want an MPE enabled by default, or like whatever, hide and show, help. Actually, let's not show it anymore. So it's just some technical parameters that you can change and experiment with that. My sound is ready and I want to save it. So I press here and let's call it Fruit Base 11. What else do I have here? Useful things here. You can just like go to initialized preset straight away, or you can copy oscillators. You can load some things, resample, render. So this may be useful as well. Yeah, and one more thing you can do here, click on the Serum logo and change the skin. Wow, it actually looks cooler like this. Maybe I'll try to stick to this skin from now on. You can also change the size of Serum. It can become huge. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you learned something, and let me know what kind of sounds do you want me to synthesize with Serum and show you the process. So that's our quick but deep dive into Serum. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment with what do you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll be exploring Serum 2. Thanks again to all my Patreon supporters, and have a good day!